All right, man. Kick it off if you want.
Yeah, we'll. Hey,
Where
Coach.
are we looking here? Just because I'm.
You can just look at him when he's.
You? Okay.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, obviously you knew you were going to the NCAA tournament, but tonight, how exciting was it to see your name up on the big board and know where you're going and who you're going to be playing?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a culmination of everything that this team's done since August to get here. We kind of talked with our team beforehand, just kind of letting them know, look, it's out of our control, and we're going to be excited and ready to go wherever we end up being, whether that's on the road or at Poly. And obviously we're going down and playing at UCLA in the first round against Denver. So lots of little things to take care of and some preparation with the group just to get them up to speed with what we potentially would be facing this weekend. And we'll treat it like any other kind of road trip in terms of our logistics this week and start our week of preparation.
I mean, a historical run for you guys this year. It's been 10 years since this program even made it to the NCAA tournament. What has it been about this team that's gotten you this far and it's gotten you, to another trip to the big dance?
I think it's a culmination of a few factors. One, I think our skill sets and our positions have increased almost across the board with everybody that's going out there. And we've had a lot of contributions this year from a lot of different players. And I think that certainly helped. I think the experience factor of having our seniors that have gone through this 4 years now of playing and starting to, pretty much the majority of their matches has been an impact. Obviously, the addition of Tori has helped us out offensively and from a passing perspective, just as an overall volleyball player. So, each player getting better, which is one of our goals during practice each week, and along with kind of the belief and knowing that they are capable. And I think that kind of took them this preseason to kind of learn about themselves, to be able to, one, win on the road and win against good teams. And then at some point during the season, I don't think you start looking at it like this is going to be a magical season, but we had a lot of good, obviously, wins in conference, a couple of 5-set battles, obviously, with Hawaii. But as it kind of starts to build up, you start to kind of look at it. I think the team started getting some more and more confidence as conference went through. And then obviously, winning the Irvine match at home the second to last weekend, and then solidifying it down at Fullerton and Riverside the last weekend. So the culture of the group, more than anything, just what goes on a daily basis, the quality and the character of the players in this group, and their desire just to really work every day to keep trying to improve. And I think it's a good foundation that we've laid, and hopefully it's a start of something big as we move forward.
How dangerous is this team going into the NCAA tournament?
I think very. It's a cliche in our sport, but it's it's serving and passing, and I hate to keep saying it, but we've shown offensively this year that when we're passing the ball well, we can side out an extremely high percent. And really the thing that we try to emphasize more with our group right now is just the blocking defense. How many transition opportunities can we create for ourselves? And a lot of that comes to just with good, consistent, hard serving. And a lot of it just comes with a relentless defense. And once you get balls off the floor, we've, I think, shown that we've got some terminal hitters in all positions that we can fire back with. So it's a summation of just a bunch of ecstatic players, and looking forward to getting in the gym tomorrow and start working on our match against Denver.
What does it mean to you to see this many people come out, especially to support you and the volleyball team tonight?
It's unbelievable. The amount of support we've had from department members, athletic staff, supporters of the program, employees of Cal Poly, supporters in the community. I mean, there are people here that are supporting and have been supporting this program for 20, 30 years. Dr. Walker is here. He's been around for a little while, so even to see people that are invested in the program as they are it's just special, and it means a lot to me, and I know it means even more to the girls to see everyone here. So just want to keep saying thanks to those that want to continue the journey with us.
You get Denver in the first round. I mean, what do you know about them?
Historically, a very good program. Conference winners, if not first or second in their conference. So I'm sure, as a lot of coaches are doing right now, everyone's trying to gather film and get their scouting reports, started. I'll kind of hand that off to our assistants, and I'll take our group in terms of the team itself and just make sure that we're being detail-oriented in our preparation for them. And as it is with a lot of our matches, it's mainly about making sure that we're in a good spot mentally, a good spot physically, and that we execute well on our side. And if we do, I think we've got a good chance to, get past the first round and play in the second.
Sam, you guys are going to have, I think, almost 3 weeks between games, right? I mean, between matches.
Yeah.
What have you guys been doing for the last couple of weeks? Volleyball's a momentum sport and kind of a consistency sport. Is there any worry about kind of like sharpness being lost? You guys were on a huge winning streak before this big break.
Yeah, we structure it with the team in terms of the mental side of it for them. We kind of geared up for the last two home matches against Davis and Irvine. We had to gear them up again for Riverside Fullerton, just to obviously try to solidify not only the outright conference title, but also it was important for the team, and they were motivated to make sure and to do their best to make sure that it was an undefeated conference season. I think that was something we got those last two matches that they really wanted. We took a few days off this week for Thanksgiving, which I think was good, just to kind of give them a break mentally and physically. And then we were back in the gym yesterday, and we'll go through our normal week routine this week. So Monday through Wednesday, we'll probably depart Wednesday evening, practice on site Thursday, and then play the match Friday. So in all reality, it'll probably be one of the longer continuous practice cycles that we'll have. I mean, even during the conference season, if we got 4 practices in a week, it's still a lot, just because we only have 13 players on our roster and we don't want to continually grind them. So we'll manage some things in terms of workloads and whatnot on certain players. But again, the adrenaline's going to be there for them. The excitement as we get closer in the week. I think kind of the biggest challenge right now is just to get them back in kind of the weekly preparation mode. And we'll do a lot of stuff with some multi-contact stuff just to get them more touches, just because they've been off for a few days. So it's kind of just business as usual, I think, more than anything, and just making sure that they're prepared as possible for the first round game against Denver.
You mentioned giving some people some rest. What is health status for your team right now? I mean, obviously the time off probably helps in terms of just kind of wear and tear generally.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing major at the moment. No ankles, no shoulders. Kind of monitoring Ad a little bit in terms of just swings. She's taken a lot this year. Everyone else is as 100% as I think you can be at this point in the season. So, no knees, no ankles, no shoulders at the moment, and we'll do our best to try to manage being injury-free for the next 4 days. So we can get on there with a full team intact.
You've been at the helm of the program for just over 5 years. Your recruiting has obviously brought you to this point. Very strong recruiting class over the last 5 years. Now you have this great cohesive group. What qualities do these girls possess that you've been looking for that has made this team so special?
Oh gosh, well, that's a good question. Commitment to the team and commitment to the program. Commitment to being a student athlete, honestly. I mean, as you know, it's a very taxing academic load as well. So, for them to be able to balance what's being thrown at them from a life perspective, number one, I think that's a tribute to them. Their ability to care and trust for one another, to be able to not only just look out for them, but to be able to help and pass along the things that the upperclassmen have learned to the freshmen and sophomores who are still trying to find their kind of groove here at Poly, and to be able to kind of manage people's expectations and to be able to give them a clearer picture of this is what your role is what we need from you, this is what the teammates for you, and the players themselves have really done I think a good job at grasping what those roles are, and that's kind of comes down to the principle of it, which is we just got a bunch of girls that want to compete and want to go out there and win and want to do it, not just for themselves but just for the group. And when you've got a collective group like that has a very similar vision and version of what they want to have ownership in, it really helps them to be motivated and continually work on a daily basis to get in the gym and keep getting better.
And then one more question. It's been a while. The preseason schedule you guys had was very difficult, a couple top 25 teams, and now we have conference, still a difficult conference, but Hawaii is really the only team that's at the caliber of this tournament. So it's been a while since you guys have competed against somebody at that level. What do you think they need to do to keep in the mindset of competing against tougher top 25 type teams?
That's a good question because we actually talked about it yesterday. We'll have some surprises for them at practice this week. We have to make things tougher. Looking at our conference schedule and at least maybe the last 4 to 5 matches, I think one of the things that we need to be more prepared for going forward are longer rallies, and another is to be able to obviously pass difficult serves a lot. So we'll spend a lot of time on serving and passing. I think the biggest thing potentially is just going to be the size of the block of the net. So we've got to make sure that we are being diligent about coverage, about finishing rallies, and not making assumptions that just because someone's one-on-one that they're going to put the ball away. So details, little things that at times I think when you either get on a streak or you start putting up some high offensive numbers, can kind of get a little taken for granted that you just think things are going to happen versus actually continuing to work for them. So those probably the three biggest on my list right now in terms of things that are going to be a practice that we're going to have to push them a little bit more towards to be able to execute for longer in terms of rallies. So we'll come up with some somewhat devious plans for them to be able to be challenged more at practice.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Congrats. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Good